This time, ladies and gentlemen, it is a spoiler. The
Oh,
movie is already out
wait, why are we when did it come out?
last week.
And we're already doing a spoiler?
Yeah, because it's already out. People are already seen it.
Oh, then I guess I'm plugging in my ears.
You take your ears out, man. You ain't going to see it anyway. But anyway, don't you love when people say, "Oh, I want to plug my ears," but you're not going to see it? So I went to go see this wonderful movie called Imaginary. Wait, I did it wrong. I'm going to see this wonderful movie called Imaginary.
Exactly. Yeah. Bunch of I would be proud.
The film was done by production by Blumhouse. Directed by, if I can see it, Jeff Willow. It's pretty much on the screen right here, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't going through the whole thing with the whole actors. They do have DeWanda Wise, that's was the main star of the film. It's a couple. Okay, let me get straight to the point of this film. You ever had a moment where you had an imaginary friend? Rob,
Yeah.
did you ever have a moment when you
No,
were a child, you had an
I did
imaginary
not have
friend?
imaginary
Do
friends.
you remember?
I did not. No, I know a show called Foster for Imaginary Friends. That's really good.
But you never had an imaginary
No.
friend. Pepperidge Farms remembers.
Are we live? Live?
Huh?
Are we live? Live?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Good. I ain't getting yelled at. If I get yelled at, Scott, I get yelled at, Scott. But Pepperidge Farm remembers. So Imaginary is basically a movie about kids and their imaginary friends. And then what happens when those kids disown or forget about their imaginary friend?
So was this a horror film?
Yeah.
This is why Rob will not be watching this. Okay.
Exactly. That's why I said what I said. You wasn't going to see it regardless.
But still, we should do a non-spoiler review.
It's pretty much non-spoiler because it really wasn't that much to say about the film. But it's pretty much is like it's pretty much think of your imaginary friend that you had as a kid and you neglected it because of like development. Like you became mature, your preteens,
So
teenagers.
think of the Winnie the Pooh horror movie, and then
Perfect example. Perfect example.
There you go.
But this time it's more like the daughter of a particular. Well, no, let's say it in this. All right. So the story starts out with, like, pretty much somebody gets out underneath a certain spot in the attic, and it's like a hidden door, and Rob kind of blocks his face, and you're trying to figure out what the heck is going on, but you won't realize it until the middle of the film. And you see Rob blacking. Rob, come back one. Come back, Rob. All right, so non-spoiler review. The film, I'm not even going to go through the synopsis because the film was mediocre. It wasn't that scary. It had a little jump scares, but oh my god, look at Rob. He having his jump scare moment. Rob, what's going on? But it had its jump scares. Look at it.
Right.
Look at Rob looks like an imaginary friend. Like, but
Thanks, Dave. Thanks.
you're welcome. But to be honest with you, audience, like going to see this film, it's okay. It wasn't as scary as I thought. It does have a couple of jump scares in the film. Would I watch this again? Probably if I'm bored. Not when I'm not a person that probably want to watch it like, oh my god, I gotta watch this. This was phenomenal. It was okay for a horror film. Um, the acting was good. Both people, everybody that's from the starring list did a phenomenal job in the acting, but it didn't fall down or it didn't fall. It was just kind of mediocre. It didn't have that shock value. It was okay. Like I wouldn't say it was a bad film, but it wasn't good either. So if it was up to me, if I would rate this film, performance was an A. The creature or the imaginary friend, maybe a C plus to a regular C. The setting and the designs was phenomenal. It was good. But it's just that the concept wasn't strong enough. And including I'm used to horror films where it's like scary, gory, edgy, you see, you're cringing. This one was more like, okay, what's gonna happen next? Is he gonna and basically out of this whole film, I might as well just spoil it. There's one death in this film. One death. One. One. That's what kills me. I ain't gonna lie. It was just one death in this film. Nothing more, nothing less. So for Tales from the Film Set, if I would have had to rate this film, I would give it a what did I give Expendables? I forgot. I know it was low, right?
I don't think you technically. I think you gave it a 7.
What Expendables?
Yeah, I don't think,
Oh,
or
Expendables
you gave
4?
it a 7 or 6, or you just didn't rate it.
I probably didn't rate it. Okay. I just said it was bad. This one, it had the elements and the potential of being memorable, but this one doesn't. It's like mediocre memorable. So if I was able to rate this film, I would say like a 5.5 to a 6.
I mean, that's still. Are you sure it's worth the 5.5 to a 6?
Yeah, because everything they had was perfect. The setting, the actors, the imaginary creature, the shock value. I
And
think
of Expendables is this and I'm gonna quote you because I'll never forget what you said because you didn't say it was bad. You just said wait until this comes out on digital. Is what you said basically. Would
this
this be a movie that people should just wait until it goes on digital?
imaginary.
Is this worth the $20 to go see in theaters, or are they better off just watching a streaming platform? Is the better question, Day.
And I love Blumhouse. I love the creations and the horror films and the adaptations. Like I love Five Nights at Freddy.
That was a great movie.
That was a good film. But this one was lacking. I'm sorry. It didn't have the wow factor and the shock value like Five Nights at Freddy. So I would say yes, Imaginary would be something that you should watch only at home on a streaming network. Even if that is the case, if you're not a horror film, this is like a watered down horror film. I'm going to call it like it is. It's not scary, but it's not as bad as Expendables 4. The only bad part about Imaginary is the fact that you got one death.